Hi there, my name is Six Fox and welcome back to FHeroes2. Today is going to be a single playthrough scenario, and it is one of the OG all-time most recognized as a classic Heroes of Might and Magic 2 type of map. This is going to be Beltway. Now, why Beltway? And what can we expect with Beltway? It is a tremendous map with a lake in the center and a road going all around. As a 3-player map, being a medium scenario, there are still many opportunities to engage with the enemy, but also do some adventuring. The closer you get to the center of the map, the more enemies there are, but the further to the corners and to the edges, the more fun stuff you will find. It doesn't really matter to me if we play in the red, yellow, or purple position, and it doesn't really matter to me what class we play as. I think what matters to me most is that we go for impossible difficulty. So as long as this scenario takes, that's how long this is going to go. It feels good to settle in for some Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Much different energy than I've been putting out for the last couple of videos, and that's actually good, I think. I think we could all use a nice, relaxing playthrough. We don't need to be too hype all the time. A very wise person that I love and respect very much once told me, never get too high and never get too low. So let's try and balance some things out, and let's dive in. Looks like we will be starting off as the Necromancers here in the red position. We start off with 2 heroes. We do have Sandro, the Necromancer, with his 10 skeletons and 4 zombies. Of course, basic Necromancy, the basic Wisdom, and then the 1 attack skill, 2 spell power, and 2 knowledge. That's pretty much exactly what you can expect out of Charity, except she has the 9 skeletons and the 2 zombies. How well do Necromancers fare on this map? Not too bad, actually. They really do a pretty good job. The major issue I could see, well, some of the issues I can see in advance are, number 1, any troops that might want to join us. If they're not undead, it's going to be less than ideal because getting the living into my ranks is not nearly so useful. If I am one of the other 5 factions, any troops that I recruit into my army are going to have a negative morale penalty, of course. But other than that, knowing that Beltway is a very resource-rich map, one of the strategies we can go for is potentially this week 1 laboratory. It's going to be an awful long way. This is going to be a heavy burden to bear, but as far as things we need, we're going to need 1,000 gold. We are going to need 10 ore, 20 ore. Looks like, yeah, 20 ore to get there. Oh, never mind, 25 ore because you need the Mage Guild level 1 for the crypt or for the mausoleum. Not to mention some sulfur and some other resources. And essentially, it's going to be 5 of each resource. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled. We are going to drop the zombies where we can with Charity. I don't think that we really need to take them on the road. The alternative is that we make Sandro our primary hero and do a hero swap right now and get the troops onto him. Tell you what, because we start off with so few troops, let's do that. This is going to cost us some pretty serious time, I fear, and yet this feels like the best thing I can do. Let's pick up nothing but gold here. 1,500 gold into our coffers, tremendous. And Charity's going to pick up some of these other resources in short order. Rather than pick up the treasure and the ore, I think that Charity can handle that. Let's make sure that we get things like wood and this sawmill. That's going to be pretty darn useful for us. I will be picking up this witch's hut. Oh, unless of course there are archers guarding that. That is going to be way too hot to handle for my small little army. Let's call it a modest army. And with the gold that we have accrued, we have the choice. Do we pick up 1 more of our Necromancer brethren? Do we pick up a Warlock that has a 6-speed creature? Or do we go straight for the graveyard? We can't do it all unless we think that Alamar can get treasure here. And why would it be Alamar and not Charity? The troops are not that useful. The 8 skeletons, not that big of a deal. Having a 6-speed gargoyle might be the best thing for me. As much as I want this week 1 mausoleum, I think that the best way to make that happen is to get 1 more hero. And that hero with a 6-speed creature with Alamar is going to be the very best thing that I can do. We're going to drop the centaurs. We're even going to drop at least 2 of the gargoyles. And the whole reason is so that other troops can come by and pick those up. I didn't necessarily plan on getting this hero, but I'm quite happy for the opportunity. Now, let's see. I think that this treasure chest, straight on up into this treasure chest, maybe we can make it, maybe we can't. Let's just see. That's 2,000 gold right there. This is going to be just enough. 1,000 gold there. Perfect. And that is a very effective turn 1, I think. 3 heroes hired, plus the graveyard, on to the next day. The whole reason why I'm looking to path through this sawmill is simply so that I can avoid going the long way. That's one thing that sometimes I don't do nearly so good of a job as I ought to. Simply pathing wherever you want to. It's not a terrible idea, but it will cost you. It will cost you. We do have an ore mine and a gold mine over here, and that's going to give us some immediate difficult decisions that we must consider. Do we want to fight these wolves for this gold mine? If you get the early gold mine, you're going to be feeling pretty good. And because there's this Shrine of the First Circle here, we might have an opportunity to push forward. We will see. The ore is non-negotiable. We must pick that up, but it looks like with 2 patches of ore here, what is our purchase that we must make? It must be this pyramid. Can we get 10 ore in this go-around? It's going to take both of these ore patches. We can't get this one. That is probably going to mean that we are going to end up buying the well on turn 1. Let's do that now. We are going to want the well at some point, and this is going to give us a little bit of flexibility as we figure out what to do next. Lots of zombies. I would love it if they wanted to join us. I don't think that that is a reasonable ask. And Sandro, we need to break out of containment. I think that these zombies are probably the best way that we can do that. So we're going to head towards these zombies, and that'll give us time to think about these wolves and whether we fight them or not. I think the Alamar can pick up the ore mine and the ore and test this Shrine of the First Circle. If it's a good shrine, we may alter our plans very, very quickly. So, plus 2 ore per day with the ore mine, plus 7 ore right there. That's 12 ore total. Feels a-okay. And the slow spell is actually a great spell. Is it good enough to pick up now? Possibly. And since we know that we are probably going to want the Mage Guild in week 1 anyway, maybe we get this Mage Guild now and roll the dice, as it were. If we do that, that will delay the pyramid by 1 day. Oh, you know, we don't actually need the pyramid for the laboratory, do we? We just need the mausoleum. With that in mind, let's hope for the best. We are 1 gem and 5 mercury away, plus a fistful of gold from getting our laboratory. Let's just see what we can do with that. And let's just check here. A haste plus that slow plus the curse. We already have the haste. We don't really need this Mage Guild. I don't think it's going to help us that much. So, Charity's going to go back and pick up her 1 gargoyle. That's going to be her adventuring type of hero. And with this 4,200 gold, I think that we're going to want to pick up at least the skeletons and the centaurs. The centaurs, even if they have poor morale, they can still be very, very useful for Sandro, who I think it'll be his job to continue fighting the good fight. Or since we're the necromancers, perhaps it will be fighting the bad fight. I don't really mind splitting hairs in this instance. I'm pretty sure that whatever we do is going to be pretty useful. I am making a decision here on the fly. I think I could absolutely beat zombies and wolves, but let's focus on our priorities. Let's break out of containment, buy this gold mine. That'll give us the opportunity to have Alamar drop off these 34 goblins. So the morale was bad before, it's terrible now. But the skeletons and the zombies at least will remain somewhat effective. Okay. And then on to day 4 for us. Again, Sandro is going to go straight for this gold mine. It may cost us dearly. Hopefully we can get a level, and then these peasants can be incorporated into our army very soon as the undead. Only spell that we are going to have is this haste. This is going to be tremendous and terrible losses, but I think that this can be a win, potentially. We should get this slow. The slow actually might be incredibly useful. That's going to cost us 1 additional day. But I do think that that slow is going to be useful. Statue is a possibility. We still need 15 sulfur total. That's going to be way too tall of an order. Let's get the statue now so we can have some more flexibility. And I know that we can't go here, we can't go here. We're going to have both of our secondary heroes ride straight at the back of Sandro. And as soon as we're able to get out, out we go. We do see the purple enemy here to our south of our main heroes here. It's always feels bad to take some troops, to take some major bonus for you, and then immediately potentially have to give that up. And so we're going to just plan on holding this. Forced to suffer a bitter defeat. The wolves, of course, as a third-tier creature, being a 6-speed, they're going to be pretty darn tough. It looks like we're going to do the very best we can, but these wolves will get the drop on us. There is no doubt about that. This terrain, though, is wonderful. This terrain is fantastic. Now, I don't know if the slow is going to be better or the haste. In this case, if I haste, then the zombies can get into the fray. If I... Let's see, I'm going to want the goblins to take a hit here. If I'd known this terrain was going to be like this, I would have hoped to have had just one single stack. Let's focus on these wolves at the top. Let's actually haste the zombies now. That haste will stick around for a little while. The zombies who have more hit points can take the retaliation from these wolves. That'll save some skeletons. And then goblins go up. And goblins go up. Unfortunately, these goblins are going to go down. Probably in one fell swoop. One retaliation and another. But the nice thing is that we now have this beautiful split, and that's really what we want. This fight is going to be won. If I had known that the terrain was going to be so favorable, of course we would have split off the goblins into a single stack instead of splitting them in half, 17 and 17. But we will take what we can get. I think that once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. These zombies are now too far away. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to help us out here. Although, 17 spell points left. Do we slow? We could slow. I don't want the skeletons necessarily to take this first hit from the skeletons. Let's just have the goblins go by the wayside. It'll actually make the centaurs more effective if we lose all of the goblins. And any troops that we lose do get turned into skeletons. So 360 experience, and the zombies really took most of that fight, and that let our skeletons attack unhindered, unsomething. It was definitely, they were unsomething. We will find the appropriate word later. The word that came to mind was unmolested, but that feels a little bit too, that doesn't feel like the right word. Not quite right. We can get the sulfur necessary for our liches here. I say that we press forward, fight this fight, and incorporate 4 additional peasants into this army. And let's actually have Alamar be the one to try and fix this section here. There's this Shrine of the First Circle. Getting to the road, we're probably going to pick up halflings and just get whatever ragtag army we can get, while Charity goes to the north. And that will send Alamar potentially to the south. 6 crystal, that's actually a pretty good pickup. Very useful. This is 6 sulfur. That's going to be enough for us to get this mausoleum. And so while I am abandoning hope of getting this laboratory in week 1, it is nice to know that we at least have our 5th level creatures. And ideally, we'll be able to see what we can do to get those vampires in short order. At this time, gold is going to be very useful. Even if this was my main hero, I think as poor as we are, despite this gold mine, I think that we would definitely still take these other troops. Now, it looks like we have some fire elementals here guarding the road. Again, in the very center of the map, we do have this beautiful ocean. It can be crossed by boats. I don't recall if there are any boats on this map or not. I don't recall. But the road is the main way to travel. And Jaclyn, the barbarian, as the purple hero, I don't believe that she's going to push into that gold mine anytime soon. I would love to rush the enemy, but I forget what their strength is, and I forget how close they are. So it's going to be at least week 2. And quite frankly, if you've watched my playthroughs, I think that you recognize that I sincerely enjoy playing in a manner that is, adventurous. I like to adventure. That's really what I like to do. And so that is what we shall do. A little bit of an issue here. I want to save the movement points on Sandro. And I think the Alamar can go. Drop off the halflings that I do want to put into this army. Look at that morale. Oh gosh. We're going to keep the goblins. We're going to try and lose the goblins as quickly as possible. Oh, and thankfully we can get the magic garden in this way. Let's have Charity go. That's going to be the cure spell. She has it, but Sandro does not. We have some opportunities here. 2,000 additional gold, some crystal. And I'd love to get this observation tower. Right now, that's a little bit of a high ask. at least for her. I think the observation tower is important because it's been so very, very long since I've played this map. I think that that's going to be very important for us. And in fact, I think that we're going to get the Golden Horseshoe guarded by a nearby green dragon. Do I want to fight the dragon for the artifact for a +1 to our luck? I think the answer is no. Discretion is the better part of valor, and you decide to avoid this fight for today. Indeed, I do. I'm likely going to attack these zombies so that I have more access, quick access to Hillstone. I would hate for the enemies to come charging through several fire elementals and make it difficult for me to get back in this one direction. There is Winter Kill. This is a wizard town, more or less in the 3 o'clock position here on this map. I'm excited to see. Maybe that'll be something that we fight over, maybe not. I think I should be quite pleased with my current position. I don't think I'm going to need to try and make something of that area. We're in a tricky situation here. We are going to be short 1 wood. We must find 1 wood somewhere here on this map. Otherwise, we are going to be shy. We're going to have 9 wood, and that's not going to be enough to get us this mansion. Wait. Thieves Guild. Oh, we needed the pyramid. Never mind. Never mind. I suppose that I could have foregone the well. But we will get Vampire starting week 2. You know, I gotta tell you though, when it comes down to some of these troops, I feel like Vampires are a troop that I recognize as being so amazing. They're absolutely stupendous. And yet, sometimes I will find myself foregoing the Vampires just because of their cost. I don't put a whole ton of stock into the base level Vampires. Really, I put a lot of value into the Vampire Lords. Vampire Lords are amazing. Vampires, they're good, but they're not the most amazing thing I ever saw. And therein lies the problem. Well, how exactly am I supposed to prioritize my build here? Do I go for Liches and Bone Dragons? Do I go for Mummies and other troops? Tough to say. I don't see any problem in this instance trying to focus on them. We are seeing that the enemy is going to come upon us very, very quickly. Why is that? Well, I've got a feeling that these halflings and these goblins with our -3 morale are not going to do very, very well for us. We're going to leave the skeletons right here so we can respond to the north or to the south. That is 3 turns in a row that the halflings have lost their turn. Halflings have not gone yet, and this is round 3 of combat. That's more than pretty surprising. That's incredibly surprising. I am surprised. Color me surprised. These zombies will get the first hit if I let them. I'm going to back off. There's no guarantee that the goblins are going to get to go. No guarantee whatsoever. Tell you what though, 29 halflings, they just did 83 damage. They just took out 5 zombies. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm actually going to leave some zombies here, and the rest of the troops are just going to go down. I think it's pretty obvious that the AI is prioritizing the halflings. And once again, the terrain has really helped solve this fight for us in a really, really nice way. We're just going to focus on the troops that are closest. That way I don't worry about losing some of my other troops. And without really meaning to, we've more or less juggled the terrain and used that to our advantage. I am expecting more bad morale. No, did we get it all out, fellas? Have we decided that we don't need to freeze in combat? Those halflings, they are very brave souls. I'm still going to say that they're very brave souls. It does not hurt my feelings that they see a massive wall of undead advancing on their position, not to mention being flanked by skeletons and zombies, and they say to themselves, this is not what I signed up for. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Please believe me when I say that I agree with you. We are going to fight this fight. We're probably going to lose terribly so. Charity is going to take the goblins because the halflings are going to do a great job in taking hits for us. I'd love to keep them alive. I don't think that that's possible. I could swap the goblins for the centaurs, but I think that if the ranged troops will take damage for me, that'll be the very best thing for me. I will find a way to lose the goblins in short order. So fear not, I will find a way. 7,200 gold, 9 wood, no ore, no mercury, 1 sulfur, 19 crystal, and 9 gems. Let's really begin in earnest trying to get that laboratory here in the second week. And let's start by getting this observation tower that can help us make some really good decisions about where we should go with our forces. I think it's probably best with -2 morale, with the awful morale. If you split the halflings, you actually get some better opportunities to get some damage off, right? There's a better chance that you're going to get some good morale, because negative morale, even -3 morale, is not more than half the time you're going to not get your turn. I don't think it's 50% or more. I don't think it's that bad, but it is pretty bad. Let's just kind of see how this goes. You see, and this is the problem. I'd really much rather prefer losing halflings over skeletons, surely, because halflings are temporary. Skeletons are forever. These rangers are thrilling, just exciting, just great, so wonderful. We are going to haste the skeletons. Should I haste them now? I guess it doesn't really matter. We're going to want them to get down the battlefield. They will do their very best. There is no range penalty in Heroes of Might and Magic 2 like there is in Heroes of Might and Magic 3. So the skeletons here are just going to take a beating. We're actually going to damage this bottom stack of archers. Wow, all but one goes down. And then the top. We're going to try and leave a few troops on the outside, so that way our skeletons can do work here on the inside, encumbering these enemies as best as they can, starting here with these rangers. Are the zombies even going to be useful? Yeah, they can potentially help respond in that direction. Let's actually kill, let's see, 4 to 5. Do we guarantee all 4? I think we guarantee all 4 go down. And then just hope that we get some good morale to take out some of these other archers. And again, focusing on this top stack, that works out pretty well. The battle is certainly won, but at what cost? Again, I don't think we lost a single of our halflings, a single one. Somehow the losses are much better. That one haste on the skeletons, not to mention the one haste on the zombies, went very, very far for us. 240 experience, 2 of those skeletons back. And then archery. Interesting choice because of the liches and the power liches. I don't put a lot of stock into the damage of the liches personally, although with archery, perhaps they can be a force to be reckoned with. Perhaps they can. Then again, advanced necromancy will never be bad. And I think that we're going to have the opportunity to fight several tier 1, tier 2 enemies. I think that the necromancy is going to be the very best thing for us. Charity's actually going to consider, does she give back these troops right now? I think not. I think that that fight went much better because the morale was not nearly so bad. I do know that there's this kind of path here that we can take with Alamar. Because he's got the gargoyles, I'm going to allow him to push up this area. We will stop in at this oracle on the way, but I see gems, and I think that he can actually get all the way up into this northeastern section of the map. So that's what we're going to allow him to do. Mansion, it's day 1. We could get it now, we could get it later, but this reminds me, oh, we've got plenty of crystal, we need a little bit more gems. There is one opportunity for gems right here that we can still collect on this day. Now, as far as Sandro and the bulk of the army, rogues, I don't really care about this artifact, the Everhot Lava Rock. I don't have any fire spells, and so I don't think I really care about picking that up. But what I might care about is the sulfur mine, and then maybe reinforcing my troops here. Gold, gazebo, skeletons here. I do see, for the first time, a necromancer town of Wildebar. And we see a feature that is very present here in the Beltway map, and that is the use of these stone liths. The stone liths, I believe, if I recall, do correspond to other liths on the other side of the map. And so even though it may seem like a large map, especially when there's poor terrain that will slow you down, really, the map is much more cramped than you might consider at first. I do want to go get those gems, very, very much so. We might even spend the time to avoid further losses with Sandro. I think that what we're going to do is this. We're going to get all of the living troops, save the halflings, onto Charity. So she's going to take gargoyles and goblins. They will slow her down, so be it. And then Sandro's going to go back for the resupply while Charity grabs these +5 gems, because I think that those gems actually will be pretty useful. We may consider what we upgrade in short order, but just a couple of these extra undead troops will again, go a long way. Probably avoid taking the vampires because we know that we are going to upgrade them into vampire lords. I may never upgrade these liches into power liches. So for that reason, let's take the liches. Skeletons are always going to be useful. And then I'm probably going to upgrade zombies and mummies later. But for now, this actually looks like a much better army than we otherwise had. Should we take any of these other troops just for fun? I shouldn't say just for fun. I just know it's going to be very expensive to try and upgrade these gentlemen later. I think, well, let's pick up the upgraded graveyard. We can do that right now. So we'll pick that up. We'll upgrade these mutant zombies. And this is actually not a terrible upgrade. I've always disparaged how terrible mutant zombies are, but once you eliminate their biggest weakness, which is their 2 speed, and you get them up to a 4 speed creature, at least they are serviceable. The haste all of a sudden on these mutant zombies makes them, you know, at least comparable to a quality troop, a 5 speed or a 6 speed creature. And so it's a good upgrade. And really the power here is going to be the liches and then the halflings trying to do damage from afar. We will keep one single sack of skeletons there just for the flexibility. Just for flexibility. And then we're going to try and go pick up tons and tons of creatures. Now, we said we need sulfur and mercury. We're going to need a couple of gems, 6 gems, 4 sulfur, 5 mercury. Where's mercury? Mercury here, mercury here, and no other mercury that I can see. And so then it doesn't matter if I go here or here, there might be opportunities up in this direction. But I do see sulfur now. Okay, so we're going to go in this direction because I think we can always clear heading back this way if we so desire. We have our heading. That's the direction that we're going to clear in. We will see if we can get lucky, maybe with some campfires or some other items. We're going to walk right through the oracle twice just to see what we got going here. Nestled among the trees sits a blind seer. After you explain the intent of your journey, the seer activates his crystal ball, allowing you to see the strengths and weaknesses of your opponents. So there's 3 of us. I am the red player with Sandro up against Barok as the yellow player. It looks like it's going to be Warlocks, and then we did see the 1 barbarian. Interesting composition because really you've got 3 different factions that excel at 3 different points in the game. Barbarians should be their strongest right about now. I should be strongest within the next 7 days. And then after that, yellow should have the advantage if they can get up to green, red, or black dragons. I think for that reason, knowing that we've seen purple to our immediate south in the 3 o'clock position, I think that we're going to try and take the bulk of our army with Sandro down the south to the west. Maybe if we can take this Warlock castle, we can prevent our biggest threat. Sure, Crag hack looks very tough, being 3 attack, 3 defense, but I think that maybe with our troops now, that might be enough to kind of push into yellow's holdings. Yellow looks to be on top. They have more castles than anyone else. They do have more heroes, more gold in the treasury, more income. Goodness gracious. But purple is the strongest right now, and yellow is weaker than us. So very telling. Lots of good information there. Happy for it. +1 gems per day. That should solve any gem problems we might have. I do see this cave, a campfire, but then there's also a campfire up here. The problem is that this snow is going to be very difficult to traverse. Let's just take one more step, see if that gives us any information. I don't think it does. I think that this is going to be the best way to go. Maybe we can pick up this 1 pot of mercury in short order. Isn't that the best sound? Something about the snow theme from Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Again, the snow theme from Heroes of Might and Magic 2 is just wonderful. Stupendous. Okay. On to the new day. Again, these rogues are here. They are skeletons and they don't really know it just yet. Obviously. 128 experience. We get 6 more skeletons out of that encounter. And I will pick up this artifact even though I don't plan on necessarily using it. Your wanderings bring you into contact with a tribe of ape-like beings using a magical lava rock that never cools to light their fires. You take pity on them and teach them to make fire with sticks. Believing you to be a god, the apes give you their rock. Ever hot lava rock, plus 50% damage or fire spells. And then the treasure chest, I think that we're to the point where I would actually prefer to have experience, except this ratio is bad, and for that reason we will still take the gold. 1,000 experience here, definitely taking the logistics. I don't plan on having a mage guild anytime soon. I'm really hoping and preferring to get that laboratory for bone dragons. Very, very sad to see, as I'm sure you are aware, that we just missed out on some extra gems, but that's kind of how it goes. Excellent artifacts here. Again, stone liths there. I think that we're going to try and plunder these resources and then get this mercury. It's day 3. We should have enough time to get there. It'll be 3 days journey this way. Call it 4 or 5 days at the worst. Well, 5 days at the worst is going to be too many. If it's 4 days, we're fine. We will see how this goes. Definitely want to pick up the mansion now. And then, as you can see, Charity is heading back in this direction of Hillstone. If I can get the Vampire Lords sooner rather than later, I'll be feeling pretty good about myself. I do not feel pretty good about the fact that Crag Hack, the hero that we just mentioned is the toughest right now, is bearing down on me. And I think that he knows. I think that he knows that I am not thrilled to see him. On the one hand, I really want the sulfur mine and the sulfur. On the other hand, I really want to make sure that I don't run afoul of Crag Hack. Is it too much to hope that he travels up the road? I think so. The gold mine is going to be of high priority, I think, to Crag Hack. And so that's going to kind of steer him in this direction. I'm going to risk it, though. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go out of my way. I'm going to not lose one lich, I hope. We will see. And we will try and prevent Crag Hack from stealing any of our creatures. Let's just take out whole stacks of creatures. I could haste the halflings. In fact, maybe that's the best haste I can do, because it is going to prevent damage on the lich. And the liches are very defensive. They got a lot of defense. They can take a hit if you just give them the opportunity to survive. I think that these mutant zombies are going to be the source of a great haste in just 1 second. 11 hit points left on those liches. Let's haste now. That's going to do damage there. Halflings are still hasted. Those 2 hastes are expensive, but they will save us a lich. So 180 experience, 7 skeletons back. I could send another hero to go claim this sulfur, but again, what's the likelihood? Now that Crag Hack is here, I don't think it's very likely at all that we're going to get the laboratory this turn. We're going to need to invest in things like the Vampire Lords. I think so. I am going to pick up the marketplace now, though. We should have the opportunity, we should have the ability to trade for resources just in case we are very, very close to a break point. I want to at least have the opportunity. I want to be able to, just in case things go really, really south for me, to trade and meet some requirement that might be placed upon me. I think that I'm going to path this way because I can pick up this magic well, which will be nice because I'll have some additional spell points. And I can pick up troops from the archers, and I can pick up this witch's hut. Maybe it'll give me a secondary skill that will be very, very useful. I don't know, but we will find out. And that makes me feel pretty good. Having Crag Hack go the other way, I'm going to count myself as somewhat lucky. We're going to take it. Oh, a second artifact that has a creature guarding it. This time, through the clearing, I observe the ancient artifact that's guarded by the nearby Cyclops. Do I want to fight him? I do. I don't know how I even lose that guy, but we'll just take it. We'll take our 1 skeleton back. Sweet. 6 crystal. And again, we are still going to go this direction. I think Charity is going to purchase the Vampire Lords that are available. I don't think that we're going to end up picking up these royal mummies just yet, but everybody else is purchased here minus those royal mummies. I just don't want to leave the halflings behind at this point, and I'm going to have to combine that 1 skeleton already. So Charity's going to head in this direction just so she can do the handoff, and Sandro's likely going to bounce down, pick up the spells, and then bounce back. 6 skeletons. Let's see if we can do just a little bit better. Perhaps one more time we will do a haste onto the halflings. That seemed to be a pretty good strategy that worked out very, very well for us. We can still kill 7 archers at a time. And then let's go from bottom to top, again, trying to keep the creatures in the very center of this battlefield. That'll help our creatures, our ground creatures, encumber those enemies. 10 damage, 9 damage. One Lich goes down with 17 hit points left. I don't believe that we are going to see him do much better here. Even if hasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the mutant zombies can catch these archers. I think that we're going to let them. That upgrade actually coming in clutch, and we're going to attack this archer here. It's behind this tree. This tree is actually giving some pretty good cover, as is this rock. So let's try and get the archers that are hiding like stealthy assassins in the trees. We can kill up to 6 of these archers. Let's try and kill as many as possible. That time we get 4. I think, okay, this is not impassable terrain. We're going to go this direction. Skeletons, that's 3 going down. From here, the battle is 1. And yet we will just kind of roll this in. Whoa, don't hurt yourself. That is actually a good thing that I did that, because I've seen the AI be very, very careless with the liches. And even though we are on a new patch, patch 1.1.0, even though we're on a brand new patch, I don't know if that has been adjusted or updated with this current patch. So 1 lich and 3 skeletons, 6 skeletons back. Still, I think that we did want to take that fight there. Basic pathfinding, that is massive. Oh my word, that is one of the biggest witches huts you could ever hope for on this map. So Sandro and Charity are immediately going to be so much better. We may actually push our way into the swamp in ways that I didn't plan on doing before. I think we might. 11 more skeletons. We are getting a pretty good skeleton stack. That's 53 at this point. Sandro is ready to go. I think that, yes, we can go this direction. I think that we're going to have Sandro pick up this treasure chest again, looking for some of that experience. 2 gems from that lean too. And then as far as Mercury goes, we get +4. That's not going to be enough, but again, we got the marketplace just for this exact reason. Alamar, 175 movement penalty or the 150. Do you go, I mean, which direction do you go in? I think you go in this direction. Worth noting that there's no enemies guarding this pass. I think that we're going to grab the campfire, ignore the gems, grab this and go. Probably even ignoring the gold. We will see though. There's no barbarian hero that I could hire, but then again, because we have the pathfinding available to us, it's not really necessary. Advanced pathfinding versus basic pathfinding, I don't think that should be the deciding factor in whether or not we hire another hero. 1500 experience, I definitely want that. I'm definitely taking the logistics. Great pickup, an additional 10% bonus for us. This is our Mercury, and we did indicate that we needed a little bit more Mercury. I think that we take these sprites and take the damage that we might lose from them. Day 6. We had talked about pushing into the enemy. I don't know. We might be setting ourselves up for something of disaster. We never actually transferred these troops over with Charity. Is it going to be tactically sound for us to take 3 vampire lords into this area? Will this help us take any of these fights? I don't think so. Several war trolls. We could potentially take several war trolls and use this army to pick up genies. We're going to do that. We're going to do the very best we can with this army. I don't feel very thrilled about our chances, but I think it's quite possible. Charity is not a poor hero. She has picked up all the spells really that we have at her disposal. I think that might be the best thing for us. Mage guild levels are good, but again, day 6, we're way too far away from the gold required, and still we're going to wait before we do anything else just to see if we are able to pick up 2,300 gold. I think that we can trade for the crystal or we can trade for the mercury necessary and the wood using our crystal. Let's see what gold we can get here. That's 400 gold. That takes care of the wood that we would have needed. Let's take this gold. That's 500. That's 700. That's 2 sulfur additional there. Let's see. Any other bits of gold? Any other gold? Well, we can go this direction. Let's do that. +1 sulfur per day. We're going to ignore this little patch here. That's 900 gold. That's 1,500 gold. Yeah, and that's going to do it for us. Okay, and so ultimately, I think that we're getting bone dragons here at the end of week 2. Mark my words. And that purchase of the marketplace early on is proving to be very, very useful. We got to keep some of our crystal. I think that this is going to be perfect. Laboratory it is. And now we just have the gold cost of the bone dragons. So far, knowing that we got this gold mine on day 3 of week 1, this has already given us 10k gold. That purchased that laboratory for us. Taking that early fight with the wolves has been fantastic. I'm going to accept these losses. I don't really care about the halflings lost. I would prefer to have them as skeletons anyway. Expert logistics. That is tremendous. That is so good. And I know I talked about Sandro maybe pushing south immediately. Now that we have bone dragons and it's day 7, we're going to pick this up, grab a little bit more experience, and then we're going to leave. We are going to get this Shrine of the Second Circle. That could be a great damaging spell. A lightning bolt, a cold ray, and that will be worth our time. Let's just hope for a damaging spell. Haunt. Part of me wants to be very positive here and say, oh yeah, great spell, not bad. Not bad. Good spell. Good spell. The other part of me is like, nope, not what I was looking for. And really, it wasn't. That was not what I was looking for at all. As far as freebies, the most free gold is in this direction. And then I will be able to travel by these gargoyles on my way to these trolls. I think that we just pick our basic pathfinding and go in this direction. I think that will be best for us. And then Alamar. Boy, imagine how much further he'd be if he did have pathfinding. We're saving gold. We're not going to purchase another hero at this time. No other heroes here that I would really love anyway. And then it truly won't be until the end of week 3 that we are able to get to our enemies. But that's okay. Additional gold from the campfires, additional gold from these piles, 7,200 gold. We're about to pick up even more due to another week or another day passing. Let's have all the other heroes take their turns so we can figure out what else is here. There's some great artifacts, and I've really ignored Wildebar, knowing that it could be a good opportunity for me. And maybe that's a mistake. I think that we're going to go with what we have here, though, with the strategy of hoping that the barbarians stay busy and then pressing on through the south. And we are doing everything we can to pick up so much gold. These these secondary, these tertiary heroes have been so good for us in collecting gold. We are up to 14k gold. That's going to be massive. I think that this is where we say goodbye to the halflings. Any upgraded dwellings to get, I think that we are going to get this Mage Guild level 2. Resources are not nearly as valuable to us at this time. Could we pick up the Power Liches next turn? We could if we want to wait. Let's wait on purchasing Liches. Let's get everybody else, starting with the Bone Dragons, then going on to the Vampire Lords, then Royal Mummies. Aha! And so now we see that we are already really low on gold. 4,200 gold. What's this upgrade going to be? 3,000 gold. I don't think that the benefit that you get from going from Liches to Power Liches is worth it. I think that this 3,000 gold is just so expensive. And so for that reason, we're going to get the 4 Liches now, and we are going to plan on setting off today. Who's going to stay? I guess that the Royal Mummies are actually going to stay behind. And it's really pretty tough, because I think that the mutant zombies are going to be a little bit worse. Even 4 compared to 11, I think the mutant zombies are a little bit worse. And you lose the curse ability, which is a 30% with the Royal Mummies. But the nice thing is that we will have Royal Mummies guarding our castle that we can purchase later. So for that reason, let's pick up 10 skeletons, 2 more zombies. Let's head out. We're not going to stay overnight. We have 33 out of our 40 spell points. We can stop by this magic well on our way out. And again, let's hope that we don't see any aggression from purple in this direction. Purple, it looks like, is clearing out that section of the map. I'm all for that. Let's let them do whatever their heart desires. Is this still several war trolls? It is still several. Several's not, it's not that many. It's not nothing. It's significant, but it's not that many. It's a couple. It's a couple. Waiting on all these other purchases. I think that now that I've got so many Liches that are out on the map, we are probably never going to get the Power Liches. I just don't see that being incredibly useful for me. There's no way that we're going to lose 2 Vampire Lords. We're going to keep our troops back. we'll just go into a very brief defensive position. And I think that these fire elementals are going to bulk up here. And they're going to be primed for one single hit from our power liches. We're going to kill 3 stacks right here in short order. Oops. And then the bone dragons can just pick off this top stack here. 5 speed, 5 speed. Well, it'll work out. I'm not worried. It'll work out. Just like that. Much better. Much better. 280 experience, 1 skeleton in return. Not quite sure how that works. The elementals, of course, are undead. The elementals, of course, are not living. The elementals are, of course, not really keen on donating a skeleton for the heck of it. So what are we to expect from that? I'm not sure. It would be nice to get that oracle just to see what we can expect here. But red has, or excuse me, we are red, and yellow has the same number of heroes as us. And that's actually great information. And that makes me think that purple has actually defeated some of yellow's forces. Maybe that means that we have a great timing attack here. Maybe we've stumbled into something wonderful. Let's go along the Beltway. Let's follow the road. And I don't actually remember where this other castle is. I'm guessing it's up this road. Let's get the observation tower now. And this castle for the Warlocks is completely undefended. Agar, their best hero, is too far away from me to engage with me, and even if he did want to, I think that my bone dragons are so much better than his hydras. So much better. So I'm planning on taking Pinehurst, and I'm planning on keeping it. It's day 5. I will never relinquish it, no matter what. And with all this extra sulfur we're getting, maybe we're going to be the ones to upgrade that dragon tower. It's possible. It's possible. Okay, no other purchases at this time. I am going to start getting the defenses up in this castle. I think that with a little bit of love, you can make this castle an impenetrable force. I say force. I should also say fortress. It's a fortress. There's that lightning bolt we've been looking for, not to mention the dispel and a steel skin. This feels pretty good. Minotaur Kings, excellent. And then the green tower, we just got to get the ore and a little bit of sulfur. We could pick that up at the end of this week. Not likely, especially since I think we're going to get another hero. And I think that that other hero is going to be massive for us. I don't love my chances at this Dragon City. We can absolutely take it. Is it worth it though? If I could get there on day 7 and then take it, knowing that I would get red dragons as my reward, I would do it. As it stands, it'll only be 2 dragons, so I don't think that we're going to go for that at this time. I think that maybe we just hustle and try and take out Agar while he's weak. That will give purple some time to breathe, and I don't love that. We're definitely going to purchase another hero here in Pinehurst. And if I defeat Agar, then I only have to really look out for Crag Hack. This is going to take me so many days out of my way. I think that our movement points are going to be critical here. Absolutely critical. We're going to path back towards our main castle while another hero heads off towards that gold mine that is to the east of Pinehurst. Any freebies? Any troops here? No. You are stuck with these 8 skeletons. Let it be written. Let it be done. Charity, meanwhile, is actually going to fight a pretty major fight here in short order. I'm going to use Charity to pick up this sawmill and some of these goodies just in case this goes bad. Actually, that Mercury could be useful. Could it be? That could be an extra level of Mage Guild. Currently, I'm missing no resources. I'm getting 1 of each per day. I will pick up 1 additional sawmill, though. That seemeth me good. +4 Mercury from that lean-to, not to mention a campfire and some more other goodies here. I don't know how far this little finger goes down, but Alamar is definitely somewhere where he ought not to be. He cannot fight any fights on his own. He's just a little guy. Come on, he's just a little guy. Just a little guy. We are going to pick up the right turret again like we talked about. I know that we talked about needing ore for our green tower. I think that this is feeling pretty far out of the way. I don't think that's going to be likely that we're going to pick that up. And so therefore, let's just hold on to what we have and let's invest in our defenses. Okay. Shrine of the First Circle. It could be a magic arrow. It doesn't really matter though. We've already got our lightning bolt. How does that happen? How does that happen? Well, our fastest creature right now is our Liches, closely followed by the Vampire Lords. I assume that that's why they took so much damage. And I believe that if we just back off a tiny bit, we won't have to actually worry about taking any damage. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. That's going to be 9 skeletons in our favor. And I don't care about this artifact because I am the undead. It won't help me. We have full spell points. We won't stop at the magic well, and we will kind of, again, clear in this direction so that we can be back in case purple's going this way. If purple's coming this way, we will get as much heads up forewarning as we can get. But that's not going to be nearly so big of a deal as keeping our bone dragons happy and healthy. We worked very hard for them. They must be kept. Oops, another campfire. I pathed incorrectly there. And then again, we will take these trolls. Here's my thing. Another week is upon us. On day 1, these several war trolls will grow in strength. It may be worthwhile to attack them now for that reason. I think I can beat them now. I may not be able to beat them in a minute. Okay. Let's do this fight. I do not love it. It's going to go Gargoyle, War Troll, Vampire Lord, War Troll, War Troll, War Troll. We will see how many splits there are. It's not going to be fun, but doable. I don't think it's going to be that bad, though. Let's give it a shot. Ouch. That's actually a couple of more than I thought there would be. Several? Is 2, 4, 6, 8? No, that's about what I thought it was. Huh. Curse, Cure, Haste. Lots of good opportunities here. I just don't want these enemies to get full damage off on me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to haste these Vampire Lords. No, they're going to get down the battlefield in due time. I'm going to actually use the haste on the mutant zombies so that way they can help, hopefully, in one turn. And we're going to slot in right here, take the damage. Oh, take the damage. Oh, you stay alive. That's amazing, actually. That's really useful. That's incredibly useful. We do have to kill one whole stack of war trolls at a time, though. We're going to need to be very, very smart about how we do this because they regenerate at the end of every round of combat. So, with that being said, does it matter where we go? It matters that we block troops. Let's try and get this one war troll here. 13 hit points left. And then the best thing for me is to try and kill one war troll. 17 hit points, and we have a max damage of 19. We would have to roll perfect damage to kill this one war troll here, but it is our best option. Let's give it a try. We are shy. We are short. And now 40 hit points. Not nearly so good. The curse spell could be intriguing. Then again, the cure spell. Can I cure my undead troops? That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, and yet, maybe. The curse is useful. We might end up having to try and do the damage with just 2 Vampire Lords. If I lose one whole Vampire Lord, we are in major trouble. Major trouble. Then again, I could haste, and that could get some of the drain off. Either way, this stack of 2 is going to be stuck. And also, then again, we have to do full damage. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to haste Vampire Lords. We're going to try and kill one whole stack of War Trolls right here. And we're going to end up getting a lot of damage off over here that we don't love. 21 hit points here. We better kill at least one War Troll. We get one War Troll. We get a little bit of life steal. And then one Vampire Lord goes down. Did it? Yep, one Vampire Lord goes down. Look how close that was. Look how close that was. We actually do need the damage from these other troops, by the way. We really do need their damage. I think, knowing that these enemies or these friends of ours are very unreliable, I think that the curse spell, which will last for 2 turns, that might be okay. 7. Let's see. 6 defense. That's going to actually take out a lot of bonus damage if we can just curse these stacks here. I think that we will do that. That's what we're going to do. Again, I don't love this, and we do have to really focus our damage here. And with our dwindling numbers of vampire lords, it's going to be increasingly difficult. 4 hit points left, my word. And that's not gonna win it for you. The bad morale is gonna hurt you terribly so. 1 vampire lord goes down. This is going to be a loss. There's nothing we can do. I am going to leave the field. Would have been nice to have a little bit more, obviously, but nope, this was ill-advised from the get-go. I am glad though that I tried to fight this fight now for this reason. At least I wouldn't have wondered, could I have fought earlier and won? No. At least I know for sure that this was always going to be a loss. So Charity is going to flee. There's no sense in having her stick around, but we're just going to use that as an opportunity to have her fast travel here. We're of course going to rehire her. She's got the pathfinding. A new hero could pick that up. It doesn't hurt my feelings whether she picks it up or somebody else does. So on we go. And I'm glad I was kind of trending here towards the top. Jaclyn the Barbarian. Very interesting. We're going to see if we can surprise her. I'm guessing that she's going to go straight for this observation tower. And when she steps on the observation tower, she's going to see us and try and run. I would love to prevent her from running. It's day 1. Charity can reach how far? She can reach to right there. Sandro can reach how far? He can get at least to the halflings. We'll see how little movement Jaclyn has left. She's got the 3-speed orcs. She might be able to get this far and then get about this far. It's going to be close though. And the unfortunate thing is that she's going to see our main castle. That's a little bit sad. Free Alchemist Lab. My word, Alamar has been fantastic for us. Buddy, way to go. Hugs and kisses. Keep the faith. Keep all the good work you're doing. Just keep it up. Barbarian Castle. Looks like that was probably upgraded. I don't know. There's Agar. I don't know how much longer Darlene is going to stay alive, but I'd like for her to at least get a little bit more scouting in, if at all possible. And still, we are inching very, very much closer to our help. What is that help, I ask you? That help is going to be dragons. Charity, I guess that's just kind of a weird move from Jaclyn. Not too sure what to believe with what we just saw there. But I am going to have Sandro go up the road in this direction. I would like to keep Jaclyn contained if at all possible. She's going to be so much faster on Swamp than I am. That's sad, but that's understandable as well. Purchasing all these troops. It's finally time to get these royal mummies into the fight. They're going to do a great job for us. Let's purchase all of them right now. Purchase the bone dragons, purchase the liches, and then the vampire lords. And how much gold do we have left? 3k. With that, we're going to get the skeletons. Mutant zombies are now officially the first troop out. We're probably going to swap all of them out in very, very short order. Let's go this direction. Just in case Jaclyn was able to do some tremendous scouting, we'll try and prevent additional issues there. Several of those Hydras. There has been a lot of Hydras on this map for the Warlocks. They might have gotten their Hydras in week 1. It's quite possible anyway. Darlene is bait. I don't want to lose her, but I wouldn't hurt my feelings if Agar stayed away from Pinehurst just a little bit longer. Let's continue to get the defenses here. I'm expecting a conflict. These 4 Hydras are probably going to be pretty darn useful. We're probably going to recruit Sabu the Barbarian if we get the chance. That might be the best thing for us. And Crag Hack, we have spotted him, and he has spotted us. Oh darn. Campfire is a wild card, +5 Mercury, we'll take that. And then unfortunately we are going to be just shy of this crystal. Maybe I could have pathed that just a tiny bit better, but ultimately Alamar is going to go down a hero. He's done so much work for us, and I have no regrets in that regard. 3rd level Mage Guild. I talked about maybe not getting a 3rd level Mage Guild or really focusing on levels of Mage Guild. Something tells me that this is actually going to be pretty useful for us. I think that we can make that work. Jaclyn is trapped. She's going to see us, and if she goes in this direction, we should be able to head her off If she goes in this direction towards the Liths, we should be able to head her off. Sandra, level 5. We don't need to worry about Xanadu just yet. I would like to at least clear out these war trolls so somebody else can get the genies. Genies can turn a game on its head. We are going to trade out 22 royal mummies for 13 mutant zombies. Charity's going to hang back. She's level 1 still. She hasn't done much, but nice to know that she's done something anyway. And then, oh, wouldn't that be great if we could just steal those magic gardens out from under these enemies. Natasha, Agar, we saw Castor over here. And there's no other ways to go. Well, them's the breaks. Okay. And otherwise, we continue up this road. 1,000 experience is good, but I think that the margins are going to be fairly close. I don't want to give Jaclyn any chance to run away. Getting additional levels in wisdom, very important. And Jaclyn's actually not an amazing hero. Crag Hack certainly has the army, but it'll be nice to eliminate this enemy, this threat. Perhaps I've overreacted. And how do I mean? Maybe I did way more here than I ought to have. Maybe I'm wasting my time. Maybe I should just let Jaclyn go. I mean, at this point, I've absolutely committed to this strategy, but still, I see that there could be good reason to send some other hero in that direction and try and prevent major problems. We're going to pick up the last of the mutant zombies. We're going to get this left turret. We really should not lose this castle. If we lose this castle, we are not going to be able to get back by day 7. Aragon. Can Charity hold him off just here with the troops that she has? I think not. Maybe a 3rd level Mage Guild spell, though. Basic Wisdom, 3rd level spells. That'll work. Let's wait on that. And then with 7,000 gold remaining, it's time to at least purchase these Hydras. Hydras are the perfect garrison unit. This is their time to shine. What else will we get? Do we have the captain in here? We do have a captain. We're not going to get an additional level of Mage Guild. He's going to have the Lightning Bolt. And then I think that the Minotaurs are going to be the next best creature for us, followed by the Centaurs. 470 gold left. Oh, sure. Sure. We will get 2 gargoyles. And maybe that will dissuade the enemy just a little bit. If they can reach us this turn, I don't think that they can. Let's see what Aragon does. Tremendous. Backing off was the very best thing I could have hoped for there. And again, Jaclyn's going to be faster than me. Well, yeah, she's going to be faster than me. No, I've got expert logistics and I've got the basic pathfinding. I think that's better, especially considering that she's probably got the advanced pathfinding with the 3-speed creatures. I think I am catching up. This is just remarkably slow. So bad. Shrine of the Third Circle, maybe we pick up that. I need another hero, though. Where would I send another hero? It really doesn't matter. Even into this direction would be fine. Let's actually consider... Let's actually send Charity. If we need to hire another hero just to defend, it might as well be Sabu. No. You'd want Zom because he's got the wisdom, and you could pick up that 3rd level spell. Why did we just send all of our troops away, though? We might come right back. It depends on what these enemies do. That was a little bit of a freeze. Panic? Panic might be the wrong word for it, but wasn't great. This water feature is the worst. I'm going to go through the wood instead of going around it. I think it's going to take just as many turns. And then once we hit dirt, I should be just as fast or faster. Yeah, it's day 6. We should have resupply before Jaclyn can get too far over here. And she's not gotten that observation tower. Pinehurst is being threatened but not attacked. It's day 7. Can we get green dragons? We can get the dragons. I think that we do it. I think that we do it. It's risky. It's so risky. No, Barok is not a problem. I think we get green dragons now. And it's an investment in us. An investment in us for the future. That's what we will do there. Otherwise, these troops are not great, but they should be enough to help us take out some of this. We're going to ignore gold. We've got to pick up Jaclyn. She's going to get that observation tower. There's nothing I can do about it. this is going to be the last turn that she evades us. The chase is over. How dare you make me sad and spend my time. Yellow's pushing up to the north on that westernly road. Purple is, well, they've turned back around. Is this a problem? I think not. I think that with 7 bone dragons, I think I'm tougher than anything that we've seen from purple so far. The enemy has fled. I'm actually going to see if I can fight this fight any better. Maybe I can. I do have the lightning bolt. Oh, and I do have the magic arrow. That magic arrow, probably very useful for these goblins. I'm going to wait to see, though. I think Jaclyn's probably going to run turn 1. As soon as she gets the opportunity, something tells me that she is going to run. Let's do it like this. There's the run. 164 experience, 4 skeletons go down. And then I am going to push up this road. Definitely don't want Titans to contend with. 1,000 gold here. Going to be useful in just 1 second. And Natasha is saying, hey, I'm here and I'm fabulous. And I'm saying, hey, don't care. You stay way, way over there. We are going to purchase the dragons rather than wait. We're going to be short on gold. But we're still going to do this. So 2 dragons, 5,000 gold per day. We will have the opportunity to get some additional troops, but I think that those 2 dragons should be enough with the captain to turn her away, if not outright beat her should she attack us. And then every day that they choose not to attack us is 1 more day that we get dragons. So I think that she must attack us now. And if she fails, then we're doing fantastic with no concerns. Pushing in the east, holding in the west. Who cares about Barok? Okay, let's see what Natasha does. I'm very excited to see what happens here. I'm hoping she turns. She does. We lose that gold mine. That is actually a big loss. I'm not happy to see that, but it is what it is. Crag Hack is stuck in the snow. Stuck is maybe a strong word, but he is not where he ought to be. He is out of position. I think that we can attack Phineas here. I think that we can absolutely take Winter Kill. And I think that we should. I really think that we should. And then we can turn, take Aragon, and then push up. This is going to be moderate losses. We do have spells. I don't expect him to have spells. Several war trolls. We'll see how this goes. It looks like potentially all of the vampire lords, if we're not careful. We will be careful. We're going to be very, very careful. We're going to be so careful. You're not even going to know what hit you because of how careful we're going to be. We are doing reduced damage over the wall, of course. And our lightning bolt right now with 3 spell power is not great. 75 points of damage. We could do 15 to all creatures. That's not going to play into effect this match. This death ripple is not going to be that useful. I could kill 1 war troll now. I guess here's the question. Am I going to fly across the battlements and attack with either the vampire lords or the bone dragons this turn? I think the answer is yes. Left turret, right turret. I do want this fight to finish up as quickly as possible. And I think it's actually going to be the steel skin instead of a lightning bolt that comes out. 75 points of damage. That could be basically 3 trolls that I kill here. I think I'd prefer to keep my vampire lords steel skinned. I think that will be best for me. Oh, I could do full damage here. You know, let's do full damage. Rather than killing 1 war troll, let's kill 2 to 3 rocks. We do kill 2. 20, 13, and 13 damage go onto the bone dragons. Bone dragons being slowed is actually a big deal. I did not really anticipate that. I think that we are obligated to haste them, but we're going to wait until it's the very last turn of combat, so that way everything else can kind of shake out. I think that that's going to be a really nice tactical opportunity that we are going to give ourselves, so I don't dislike that decision at all. Something tells me my liches are going to get to go first. I'm going to need to haste the bone dragons on the skeleton's turn, so that way the halflings are the slowest creature, and that way the liches can bombard these war trolls from afar. I'm anticipating that the rocks will come up, and that can get a really nice juicy hit. It's going to be reduced damage, but it's going to be reduced damage times 3, and that'll be good. And so therefore, let's take the vampire lords actually and try to lifesteal off of these halflings. Let's do that now. Yep, 2 vampire lords are brought back. We do cast the haste to counteract the slow, and those rocks are going to take a thwack, a bony thwack in about 2 seconds. 6 to 8. I think that we should kill all 8, no problem. And we're going to kill the rocks instead of any other creatures. That's interesting. I don't like that decision from the Ogre Lords. I don't think it helps you at all. This is going to prevent me from actually using the Bone Dragons, or excuse me, prevent me from using the Liches. If I put the Bone Dragons here, but this is clearly the biggest threat that I have. So we're going to do that. How much damage is left for these Bone Dragons? Not that much. One goes down. Would be awesome if we had a super sweet, super cool, what do you call it? Animate dead spell. But an animate dead spell we have none of. The skeletons will finish off this fight. So 1 bone dragon, 6 skeletons, much better for 2,000 experience. And the experience is actually pretty big. The net loss on the skeletons is excellent, by the way. I don't anticipate that we're going to use Eagle Eye much, but we're definitely going to use that more than navigation. What is hiding here? Looks like we are still very, very far away from that cloud castle. And that makes me quite happy. Aragon is not a threat. Yeah, enemy has fled, 567 experience. I don't think we can actually keep him from running. Although, through eagle-eyed observation, Sandro is able to learn Disrupting Ray and get some additional skeletons. Pathfinding more than the wisdom. Pathfinding more than the wisdom. I love these signs. Unfortunately, tactically right now, that's not going to be the thing for me. I've got to wait on that. I think that if I go through the unicorns, I think I do. It'll open this avenue up for them, but it'll be the quickest route to this observation tower that must be here. I think that there's symmetry here. Observation tower, there must be an observation tower here. I want the observation tower. 2 skeletons, very acceptable losses, net loss of 0. And we're actually picking up some morale, so those green dragons, once we do put them into our army, they're going to stick around. They're not going to be too sad about rubbing shoulders with the undead. Charity continues to go up here. Wow. +3 to attack with the Dragon Sword of Dominion. Love that artifact. And then otherwise, 2 more Hydras. And I think that Pinehurst is now unstoppable. We will turn our attention to Crag Hack in short order. So let's wait on that. Unless there's an enemy hero in here, I think that Winterkill should stay safe. There's no creatures to purchase. So we will wait. Okay. And then again, this observation tower. Massive. We will take Portsmouth as Jaclyn, who is back, now runs. And then taking out the 3 starting castles, I think that that spells doom for the enemies. The problem with Beltway is, again, those... Well, the problem is this. You have terrain to contend with, which we've seen already. And you also have things like... How much is this? 40 points of damage? That's 60. Now let's just take care of this right now. And then you also have to contend with the enemies trying to get through the teleporters. And that feels pretty bad, actually, because they're going to get very, very squirrely on you, and there's not much you can do about it. We should take the retaliation here. And then the Bone Dragon should finish this off. So even though we've taken the 3, we now own the 3 primary starting castles, that doesn't mean that this scenario is going to be the easiest to mop up. Whoa, what barbarians are trying to be battle mages? These guys. Interesting. But we can see the majority of the map now, and you can see that there's really slow wasteland and swamp and snow at the edges, and then this beautiful little beltway here in the middle. I think that we stay overnight, replenish our spell points, get back up to 50, and then really we turn our attention to Crag Hack, see what he will do. I'd like for Jaclyn to waste herself here on Natasha. Let's see if we can convince these enemies to fight each other instead of us. 3rd hero. It's long overdue, actually, that we get that 3rd hero. Truly it is. I think that Pinehurst again is safe. Let's wait and get more of these undead troops here from our starting castle. And let's just keep a good eye on the enemy here. Oh, if you're going to wander right in front of me, we will absolutely allow that. I'm guessing that this is going to be another spell coming from Jaclyn. She does have, yeah, pretty good lightning bolt. I don't think I can prevent her from running. I'm just going to take those losses, which we've already expected, and just go from there. And then Crag Hack Crag hack. I could press into yellow. Or I could chase Crag hack. I think that we do chase Crag hack. We chase him down. And if I lose the Barbarian Castle, woe is me. Wow, there's actually a lot of troops here. Woe is me, sure, but it's less important of the 3 castles to keep, and it will help prevent the enemies from taking winter kill. We are going to get another hero just to head in. Let's see, not here actually. Over here. I see a gold mine. I think that that is available to us. It might as well actually be Sabu because he's got the pathfinding. We're going to have him drop his slowest creatures, keep the average speed goblins, and then he's going to get this gold mine, assuming that there's no one guarding it, and then he's going to step on these liths and just stay there so that no one can surprise me, because I'm the hero in this story, and I don't want the enemies to get me at all. I suppose if you are looking for a 100% playthrough, you could buy a boat here and then cast summon boat over here and pick up all this. Oh, there's a whirlpool. Never mind, there's a whirlpool here. And so there must be a whirlpool out here. But I think that these are the only 2 castles that can actually get you there. Huh, that's interesting. So whoever starts in the red position is actually less likely to get into the water than the other 2 starting locations. That's pretty interesting. Okay. Let's see. Again, keeping track of what the enemy does. Crag hack is to the south. Interesting. Very interesting. Because that's closer to the enemy. That's closer to yellow anyway. And if they can waste themselves on each other, fine by me. A brief stop at a hastily abandoned wizard's tower turns up a magical vial of mercury that always has a little left on the bottom. Recognizing a treasure when you see one, you cap it and slip it into your pocket, +1 mercury per day. And this is really what I was going for, is this 1,000 gold per day. All of a sudden, with 4 castles, we're feeling a little bit of a pinch. Just a little bit. We'd like to have more gold than we currently have. This lith here, I think, is just a one-way back and forth. And so again, by standing here, we prevent any squirrely behavior. I'd like to get 1 hero standing here, 1 hero standing here. And in fact, it's going to cost me gold. Gold I have. We're going to buy 2 heroes to make that a reality. And we're even going to give them... We don't have a 6-speed creature. The power liches are the only 6-speed creature. We're going to do this, though. It's going to be worth it to me to send Ranlu here. And then I think it's Charity? Darlena behind him. Oh, let's get Rialdo. I like Rialdo. I mentioned in the very first video I ever did, I mentioned that the hero portrait and the stats and all that, you know, they don't really matter. The portrait doesn't matter. This doesn't matter when you first purchase a hero. If they're level 1, it doesn't matter. And yet you get attached to certain heroes. Sandro is one of those heroes. Rialdo has been the bane of my existence in several scenarios. And so he stands out to me as one of those heroes that you better get him, just so that way the enemy doesn't get him. It's nothing more than a psychological advantage, and yet don't do it. Keeping an eye on the enemy. I don't think that we've actually seen any threats to us. Yellow's pushing up on the west-hand side. We do have Crag hack that has come back. Pick up the basic pathfinding. And then, oh, unicorns. It must have been Month of the Unicorn. Yes, it was, and I completely missed that. And because I've missed that, that gives me some pause. I think that Ranlu is going to be the best third hero I have, or rather second hero. Sabu is asleep. Charity is going to purchase some troops, and with these 15, wow, with these 15 Medusa, she's going to take these swordsmen for me. And if she dies for the second time, I'll be very put out. I think I actually get rid of the gargoyle, just so my morale goes up by a little bit. Oh, not very good. And we will see if we can use the stone skin ability to great effect or not. Let's keep the mutant zombies at the top. Okay. And Sandro. Now you got a choice. Do you go up north or do you go south? I'm not convinced that yellow isn't still pretty strong. Crag hack is still the strongest, though. I think that we do a pincher attack. I think that we assume that he's going to see us and try and run. And and I think that we don't give him the opportunity, and then we can keep yellow in front of us in this direction. I think that really will be the very best thing for us. Let's give that a shot. Yeah, give it a shot. Barok up the west side, still not a concern. Purple is now pushed in that direction. I'm still going to assume he's going to come back in my direction, and I'm going to pretty much purchase out this castle. It's day 7 now, so any of these troops that get left over, they're just going to go for the new week, and that's fine. That's just fine. Let's see. Who am I missing? I guess we'll send the mutant zombies down. And then again, that just gives me some insurance. And the worst thing that could happen is that Sandro wastes his time a little bit, goes through the Lith, and then is just right where I really wanted him to be anyway. Expert Necromancy, I think that the time for Expert Necromancy has passed. This map is drawing to a close. And if we go through these stone Liths and we get spit out right here, we're going to want to be as fast as we can, as quickly as we can, as much as we can. We do really have to get to this Lith as very, very quickly. This fight, we're going to accept these losses, not a problem. 1,000 gold extra, and I am going to fight these Rangers. And probably these Boars now. Okay. We will see what Natasha does. I hope she stays away. Day 7, let's go on to a new day. And it's actually probably time to purchase another hero. Goblins, +5. Probably time to purchase another hero, this time in the Warlock Castle, just to help me finish this fight up. Because we are right there. We are right there. And we will have some troops that can defend. It'll be these 3 green dragons that can help us. Let's pick up Airy. His troops are going to see him and say, "Hey, brother, you look like me." And he'll say, "Yeah, brother. Okay." We're going to purchase all these troops. I don't think that we are in danger of being backdoored. Let's let Barok wander. He's going to potentially wander right into Charity. Let's go first to this Sorceress Castle with his 7 green dragons, and then we'll figure it out from there. And again, hopefully this just helps prevent an enemy from coming through these Liths. Possible. Possible. Wow, major losses. Let's see if we can do just a little bit better. I know Rangers are tough, but my word. By the way, I sincerely love 10 damage. That's going to be 5 Rangers if you want to kill 5 Rangers. I think that you're probably better off with the haste, though. I've really appreciated people taking the time to... Oh gosh, the one hasted Medusa immediately misses their turn. Ah. Oh, goodness gracious. I appreciate people taking the time to do the fun little polls that I've been putting out on the community page on YouTube. It's just fun, but I have a lot of fun with it, and I love to see the different opinions, and I love when people agree. For example, the most overwhelming results in the poll so far, I think, have been Rangers as the best 2nd level creature. And ultimately, I think I agree. I think that Gargoyles were the 2nd best, and then the Boars were 3rd behind them. But I think it's overall pretty good decision from the people. The people have spoken, and the people, I think, have reached a general consensus that I sure can get behind. So, not always does the internet agree, but I think that we're agreeing on things like that. That feels nice. And then I think that the Vampire Lords were easily considered the best 4th level creature by a lot. Like, it wasn't even close. Oh, I don't have the gold. I don't have the Mercury. I don't have the gold. Let's pick this up, and then this. And so, yeah, the Vampire Lords. Let me just pull this up real quick. It's gonna take me like 1 second to pull this up. 1 second to pull this up. Oh gosh. There's been a lot of activity since I checked this a minute ago. Oh goodness. Ranger for the best 2nd level creature in Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Currently with 40 votes, we have the Ranger at 60% of the vote, the Boar with 5% of the vote, Gargoyle with 33%, and then either the Mutant Zombie, the Orc Chief, or the Battle Dwarf with 3%. So first Ranger, second Gargoyle by half again, and then Boar trailing mightily behind that. 60, 33%, 5%, and 3%. Not to mention in the other polls, well, since we're here, we might as well spend the time, just in case you're interested, just in case you haven't seen these. For the first level creatures, it was fairly close for the skeleton and the halfling. Skeletons came in first for the community vote for the best first level creature. That will be 47% of the vote believed that it was the skeleton that was the best level 1 creature, followed by halflings with 29%, the sprites with 20%, and then the peasant got 4% of the vote. No, somebody probably voted for either the goblin or the centaur, but those goblin, centaur, and peasants brought up the rear with 4%. So that was out of 51 votes. And then we already mentioned the 4th level, and then we should be doing the 5th level also here now. And that was 60% of the vote went to the Archmagi, 13% of the vote went to the Hydra, 11% of the vote went to the champions. Fix Fox, that doesn't equal anywhere near 100%. That's right. That equals 85% because 15% of the vote, the second highest share after the Archmagi at 60% was Power Lich, War Troll, Unicorn. And I'm not sure. I wish that people would comment just so I know on those ones where I have to combine the 4th option because the YouTube polls only allow you to do 4 options. I wish that people would let me know. Are you voting for specifically the Power Lich, for specifically the War Troll, or for specifically the Unicorn? I don't know. Tough to say. I'm excited to do a couple more polls like that. I just think that they're fun. I enjoy them. And I think that people who like Heroes of Might and Magic too, it takes them just a second to do it. That feels pretty okay. 2,300 gold. I'm a little bit worried that Rialdo is going to go down here. I think that Natasha might go through the Lith. She does not, and that feels so good. Crag hack is going down immediately. Bye, buddy. 5 bone dragons is unacceptable, though. And I'm not sure where we're going to lose all these troops. 4 spell power, 2 knowledge, blood morale, 8 attack, 13 defense. My word. Good thing I've got 100 points of damage every single time I cast a lightning bolt. Is that best suited to kill 2 trolls here, or orcs, or the ogres? I think you probably want to really focus your efforts on the war trolls first because they do so much damage. Let's do that. So we're going to kill not that many. Not that many. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to go to this area with the royal mummies to stay away from the first attack with the ogre lords. And then actually, I'd rather stay away from these 12 ogres than these 7 ogre lords. I think that we are going to attack the ogre lords in this direction. We're going to take a beating with these vampire lords. 1 goes down. They were not able to rejuvenate and get back up to full stacks. 2 more goes down. 7 remain. I think that they should be able to stay on top eventually. And then I am going to start working on these ogres. 6 bone dragons are not going to do nearly as well as I'd like, but this makes the most sense to me. Very interesting choice, and I don't like it. I think that's a poor choice. I think that's a very poor choice. I'm going to kill 1 more of the war trolls and do a little bit more damage to these ogres. Let's just focus on these ogre lords. Much more worried about them than the war or the regular trolls at this point. In fact, I'm going to step up and try and get these vampire lords a little bit more HP. Surprised that the skeletons didn't take the hit there. I really thought that they would. And then let's continue to focus on these ogres. Even taking the damage from the orcs there. This is probably my best shot that I have with these liches. Unfortunately, maybe the best thing I can do is just get the 31 damage off of these orcs versus 29 here. Unfortunately, the liches are likely not going to be useful for the rest of this fight because I don't want to damage my own creatures. Although with 4 bone dragons left, I think that this fight's already gone much better, even at the cost of 3 of these vampire lords. That does not hurt my feelings. Really, it does not. That's just... I've said it before, and I will say it yet again. That is the price of doing business. The enemy has fled. 3 royal mummies, 14 skeletons, 1 vampire lord. Somehow we were at the very tail end able to rejuvenate 1 more of those vampire lords, and 2 bone dragons looks much better than 5. So I still feel pretty tough. We are now going to take the expert necromancy. We're definitely going to get this artesian spring before we do anything, because that could be the difference between a win and a loss. I see the shrine of the third circle. I definitely see that genie lamp. I don't want anybody to get that. I really don't. I think that we're big. I think we're bad. I think we're tough. And with all these spell points, we don't need to worry about any more enemies. Let's have Charity go down and meet Barok right in this general area. Rialdo's going to continue with his job. I might be able to get some additional troops to Sandro. I might have to send Sandro back just a step or two, and I think that will be worth it. Whoa, that did not go where I thought it would. Where does this one go? Not there, not there. Oh, it goes to here. So perfect. Actually, we were already stepping on the Lith that worried me the most. And that's great. That's so good. And again, this map is drawing to a close. We are going to bolster our forces here. We're just going to go to the well and buy everybody. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good to me. That is a good army. We were able to purchase that out. Even though we're getting 10k gold per day, we needed every little bit of it to make that happen. Let's have Rialdo hold fast. Let's have Charity continue down. Let's have her pick up the shrine. The blind spell is actually a good pickup, even if she just has 1 fight to go. And then Rialdo, well, I could get this pyramid real quick. Let's just get the pyramid real quick. 2 bone dragons? Really? I know that vampire lords are good, but they're not that good. Especially if I slow them. Haha. Yeah, and I think that the slow is much better than any other spell here. That's what we're going to do. Slow these vampires and then attack these ones. 10 vampire lords goes down to 7. We're going to go into a defensive position around these liches, unless these royal mummies have wandered way too close, which I think that they have. And then since I have no retaliation here, we're going to get our damage off where we can. Interesting that the vampires are going for the bone dragons. Huh. Well, let's just do damage where we can, and then we'll worry about these other vampire lords later. 5 to 10 royal mummies going down, no question. 7 go down, that's just fine. And then let's focus on this stack of 10. Probably I lost 2 bone dragons because my own liches helped. Yeah, that's the only thing that really makes sense to me at this time. We will probably take some damage from these slowed vampire lords. That's just fine. Why do we get troops? We get troops so we can use them for their offensive and defensive capabilities. Otherwise, there's no point really in having them. 4 to 7. Let's actually kill 4 to 7 here. And the fight is clearly won if I just skip on my liches and don't blast myself into oblivion, which was actually a little bit of a concern. Upon defeating the monsters, you decipher an ancient glyph on the wall, telling the secret of the spell. Summon water elemental. Unfortunately, you do not have the wisdom to understand the spell, and you are unable to learn it. I forgot. Oops, my bad. Okay, well, we're gonna wait. Let's see, how far can Rialdo get? We can probably go to right here, and Rialdo can get the troops to us and get back to the Liths, I think. So. Oh, really? 24. You've got 24 war trolls. There is some strength left from yellow. Okay. Well, we're going to lose this castle. My left turret, right turret's just not going to do enough. I don't think it can do enough. Rather than try and waste some damage on these trolls, I think it might be best for me to try and bring down these orc chief numbers with my lightning bolts. We will cast it as many times as we can. Unfortunately, I think that we do have to go towards the enemy. We can't just stay back in a defensive position. I think that we do need to travel right into them. And I think that I'd rather actually have the damage go down onto these wolves. Again, just trying to bring down these stack sizes. Yeah, I think so. And the defense on the wolves is not that great, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna lose the Minotaur Kings in short order. Probably keep the griffins back. Let the gargoyles fly forward. Yeah, not great. But we only got one more lightning bolt anyway, so the slow hydras are going to take so long to get out here. It's not even funny. It's kind of funny. Lightning bolt here. A curse couldn't be terrible, but that was my last offensive spell. I don't think I need to wait. Griffins, I just realized are going to take a bunch of damage. Let's have them attack now that the wolves have skipped their turn. Still we focus. Still we persist. Wow. And 9. How did you get so many hydras so quickly? I'm actually pretty impressed with how many hydras the enemy's been able to get. That is actually a really nice, good morale bonus, because now I'm going to steel skin and get this attack off. I was considering waiting on that steel skin for later. I guess I really never should have. I should have just done the steel skin immediately. But okay. 1 war troll, 6 of the ogre lords, 20 wolves, and 18 of those orc chiefs go down. This is going to be important for me. What day is it? It's day 4. Okay, let's purchase another hero here. Pyro, the knight, high defense. Excellent. We're going to purchase all of these troops. Do we have enough gold to purchase all these troops? The answer is no. It's a good idea, but no guarantees I win this fight. Charity doesn't even really have a damaging spell, does she? Lots. Few pack lots. Let's pick up the +2. Ugh. Fine. We'll kill the genie, take our power axe of dominion, and get some extra stuff. And then we're going to go see if we can defeat Barok, just in case we need to retreat with Charity. Now we give the enemy less opportunities to really hurt us. Rialdo doing his business. He's going to hold on to these mutant zombies for me. And I think that Sandro with his 7 bone dragons is true enough, still the power in this area. Can we get up to our dragons here in Pinehurst, though? That is the question. 3 more turns. We should get there in time. And then we can also combine forces with Aerie. 1 green dragon goes down. Really? That's a little surprising. The enemy is very resilient. This is very impressive, actually. And I don't know why I should say it like, oh, I'm very impressed. Like, well, of course, the enemy is always really good. But still, something just is reaching out to me and saying, that is absolutely noteworthy. Absolutely. We can only kill 5 to 7 of these sprites. That is about the worst split ever. I am going to just sit with the gargoyles right here and make the enemy either lightning bolt us or do something else. So be it. The Grand Elves are actually going to do a bunch of damage. That's an extra 50 damage. So we got 58 hit points left on this top green dragon. I might have actually fought this fight worse already. I say might as if it's a maybe. Then again, I do get to flambe so many troops there. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Don't even worry about it. We'll still lose a dragon here, we do. And now I'm just going to hit Q for end combat, so 4 and 1. I couldn't fight the fight any better. We do pick up the advanced wisdom. And then Aerie, again, is converging on this point. I don't really care about this barbarian castle right now. And I think the Tyro can actually head in that direction soon. What are you doing? Okay, I am going to try to deal with Barok now. And if I'm wrong, all it means is that Charity fast travels back to our necromancy castle. So he's got a curse. He's got 27 spell points left. We've got a blind. We're definitely going to blind their biggest stack of archers. My word. That's not a question. Yeah, curse is fine. I can deal with the curse. We're going to send 1 Medusa to the top and then 2 to the bottom. Get out of here. I think I should have dismissed these 5 halflings. That was a terrible decision, actually, now that I think about it. Wait, what spell did you cast? Barok cast Bloodlust. Oh, buddy, I'm just gonna blind lock you with my 2 spell power. Yeah, we're just gonna alternate blind locks. Probably on these dwarves. They could resist the spell. It's a risk I'll take. Okay, so we do get that damage off. We do get that spell off. And then we're just inching closer. 1, 2, 3, 4. The mutant zombies will be able to attack the archers next turn. That feels good. I feel comfortable just dealing with this one gargoyle right now. And I haven't seen any damaging spells just yet. So we'll see. Wow, ouch. We'll see what we're up against. I don't think I need to use the blind right now. Probably want to consider using the curse. We're going to have 2 opportunities to curse. And that's probably going to go down on that huge stack of the dwarves. Because dwarves actually do 2 to 4 damage. So a curse is not bad. It's really not bad against dwarves. Very sad to see that this stack of Medusa is disrupting raid. I don't think there's anything I can do about that, though. No spells cast here. And then the dwarves are wide awake. They are rise and shine territory. Let's hope that this curse lands. This curse does land. Very nice. We are going to keep the mutant zombies on the archers. I'm going to move the Medusa down just so that next turn they can get in here. Sad to see that, but the Medusa are going to be the ones to take this first shot here. Wow, you're going to kill 2 dwarves and that's it. We're going to lose this fight, but Barok is only going to have dwarves left over. And that's doable. That'll be very doable for just a couple of bone dragons to take care of. So that's what we're going to plan on doing. Fortunately, we're tripping all over ourselves with these 2 hex creatures. Medusas go down. Well, we could get incredibly lucky with our paralyzes. Huh. We're going to break the paralyze, though. I don't see any reason not to. Truly, I don't. Because there's no retaliation. You just lose your turn. And then, unfortunately, mutant zombies are going to take the hit on the retaliation here. 9 goes down to 5. But then our stacks of Medusa are getting into the fray. We got 3 opportunities to get a paralyzed down. There we go, baby. Or the petrified, not a paralyzed. And now we're going to skip with the halflings. And now dwarves lose their turn. You got a 1 in 3 chance. Or you got 3 opportunities anyway. And then this stack of 2 skips. And skips. And then we get more damage down. Okay. Okay, this is going to work. And I don't risk it. We just play this very safe. Very safe. Okay. And perfect. Flawless. Absolutely flawless. If I'm the enemy right now, I am hating you. I'm just hating your guts so bad right now. We're going to use our last curse. Again, there's going to be some good damage here. I think, though, that use of the Petrify has come through huge for us. I know the Barok still has some spells, but... Oh, and we do get one more chance. Nope, chance doesn't come through. 6 dwarves left. Let's see what he does. Oh, buddy. That is what we in the business call terrific. I like what you did there, funny man. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. 3 dwarves, 2 dwarves, no dwarves left. I really thought that we had lost that fight. 30 dwarves is just so much meat to chew through, but the use of the Petrify and the 3 Medusa, so actually keeping alive all 3 of those stacks was very, very important, as it turns out. 10 mutant zombies, 1 for Medusa total. Yeah, we didn't really have a lot of business fighting that fight, but I'd rather be lucky than good. That was a time where I should have taken the luck instead of the wisdom, just because, again, I'd rather be lucky than good. Now, it'll take me 2 turns to get here. It's day 5. I've got time to take this barbarian castle, and so I shall. I will even lose the 1 vampire lord, because I'm feeling pretty peachy. Don't need to stop in at the Shrine of the First Circle, though. That's a little bit extra. And then I do want to defeat Castor, and I'm sure I can. Although I will split with Area. We'll split these dragons into 2 stacks. Actually, no, I want to avoid that fight. Hold on. No, I actually want to avoid that fight, don't I? Castor's big. Castor's tough. Let's get the dragons onto my good hero. And that'll just prevent us from having some problems down the road. It may be overkill. Most things are, but that's what the most successful people do, is that they engineer a strategy to the point where no one can really stop them. And that's what we ought to do here. So I'm interested to see what Castor does. Take this castle. I don't really care. Save my dragons. That's what I desire. These other 3 heroes are just doorstops. Tyro, with this gold, it is time for him to head on out. We're going to get 8 Cyclopes and the 12 War Trolls. That's going to help anyway. Not a lot, but it will help. And I don't really have much else to spend my gold on. Perhaps there was some additional troops in here that I just haven't checked in on. No, the answer is no. 1 yellow hero there. That might be the last yellow hero on the map. Save that 1 castle. We picked up Gem just so Aerie can get on over here. To right here, as Gem completes the swap, and these green dragons are exhausted, and yet on they will soldier. I will even pull over the other troops that could be helpful. And we already have room in the army, I believe. No, we're going to have to make some room. 6 dragons is definitely better than these royal mummies. We do have neutral morale. That's good. We have an excellent army. We should assault this castle here without any problems here on day 6. Agar the Warlock. Yeah, the enemy's cowardice costs them 300 gold, my word. Not thrilled to see that, but okay. And they've actually gotten us up to the red dragons. We're going to upgrade these dragons right this very second. Big upgrade. Plus in speed, plus in damage. I'm very happy for it. It is not lost upon me, by the way, that purple is still here. Where's purple? If you forgot, they are in the upper right corner. We will get to them very soon. In fact, we are probably going to go back through this Lith here that Ranlu is standing on. Or maybe this one. Either way. Either way. Oh, yellow is not even going to get to take this castle from me at this time. There's no purchases to make. I don't care to buy another hero. It doesn't matter. So Gem will head in that general direction. Tyro is going to follow her up. He's actually going to take the bulk of the troops. Aerie is going to go to sleep on the side of the road here. And then maybe we have another hero follow Sandro out of the castle on day 1. In fact, that's what we will do. So, Aerie, I know I said that you could just camp out here. That's not going to work for me. We got troops we can get here for 1 more hero chain. Probably right about here. And then we will hire a new hero in Pinehurst very, very soon. Okay. All right. And why do you run? Why do you run? It is day 1. We're going to hand troops off to Tyro. Only the best and the brightest. And the most dead. Gem is dismissed. And this scenario is drawing to an immediate close. So, folks, this has been fun. This has been really fun. And I'll tell you, it's really fun to do Pixfox shoutcasts. It's great to do Heroes of Might and Magic 3 because it really takes a lot of my brain power to do well on those scenarios. But I gotta tell you, doing Heroes 2 is my all-time favorite. Heroes 2 is just so good. And I love the vibes, and I love that we can play these tremendous scenarios and have so much fun, and also we can win, I think, convincingly. As far as this scenario goes and the general strategies, if this was a first-time playthrough, I think, of course, you would do things very much different than I have. I had some knowledge about the map. I knew that the 3 players were going to not be able to meet in the center, but you could always travel by road. And that's a pretty big advantage just to know that. And then also, I knew that heading off into the corners in the swamp and the snow, that was going to be problematic. And so avoiding that was going to be useful for us. And we did, in fact, avoid that. There goes a Dispel. I don't think I'm going to allow you to stay awake. I'm just going to let you do reduced damage to me when you wake up. There you go. That'll work. And I think that we definitely hit our spots. Purple didn't really use a ton of aggression going to the north when they could have. And that worked out in our favor in a major way. There's still one more yellow castle or one more yellow hero, but where they are, I do not know. I do not see them. Perhaps they're down here. There must be a castle, Sandcaster. We got to go grab Sandcaster. But if it was a first-time playthrough, of course, things would be different. They always are. So, I suppose that I should be looking at doing scenarios that I've never done before. But Beltway is an absolute classic. I think anyone will agree with me. And there's something really fun about doing this absolute classic. I've noticed that some of the maps that are my personal favorites are also other people's personal favorites. For example, Ghost Planet. A lot of people enjoyed that playthrough of Ghost Planet. Yellow player's been vanquished. And with good reason. I mean, it's a tremendous and very, very well-made map. Broken Alliance, that's a map that many people know and love. And I'm really happy to be able to play that anytime, all the time. Everybody step off. And I really think that Beltway is one of those maps that people see and they just say, oh yeah, this is a good one, and they enjoy seeing it played. I have noticed as I've been doing the Fix Fox Shoutcast that it's been so very great to watch other people play. And I've never been that type of person that really loves to watch other people play. I've always preferred to more or less be in the driver's seat and play myself rather than watch someone else. But I've really kind of come to understand why we will watch other people play. I guess I shouldn't say I never understand. Really, when I watch other people play, I'm generally there to kind of support them because I think that they're doing a great job and I want them to be doing fantastic. Occasionally I'll find, you know, some playthroughs that are incredibly interesting. Obsessive Repulsive Disorder. I liked his playthroughs with like the can you win Heroes of Might and Magic 2 with terrible heroes, and he builds the heroes in very, very unique ways, aka he only takes the bad secondary skills and he doesn't take pluses to any of his secondary or primary skills, his primary stats. I like seeing challenges and new interesting things like that, in large part because the question is always, can it be done? And I hope that, you know, whether you're watching these scenarios like Beltway on impossible difficulty, if it's because, hey, can it be done? Well, the answer is obviously yes. But if you're also here because you're enjoying it and the vibes are nice and chill, that's also a great reason. This is a glorious victory. Sandro has, I believe, finished off the enemy as he picks up +1 attack skill, and he will take the navigation because I think it's time to go on vacation. Navigation? Yeah, I think it's time to go on vacation, buddy. Go boating. Purple player has been vanquished. So that's going to be the final battle here in Beltway. That took us 48 days. That's going to be a Black Dragon rating. This is one of those maps I think you can do much quicker than I did. I think that probably the best way to save time would be a week 1 rush. Pick one of your enemies, either to the west or to the east, or if you start in one of the other locations, to the north or the south. And then rush one enemy and then potentially try and get, I think, maybe get a 5th level Mage Guild. Maybe you could shoot for like a Dimension Door. That'll always help. But whatever your thoughts are on how you can beat this map sooner, I always love to hear how people say, Fix Fox, you did it in 48 days, and I did it in 32. And then there's a part of me that's like, oh, I should be competitive and I should try and beat your score. And then I say, no, 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 that's not why we're here. And we're happy with that. But yeah, that's Beltway for you. Good map. Good map. Folks, thank you so much for spending the time with me. Thanks for the support. And thank you for sticking with me. Tell you what, we're almost to 300 subscribers, and every single person that subscribes is a person that has, you know, seen that there's some value in what we're doing here, and they're enjoying themselves, I hope. Hopefully people don't just subscribe and then never come back. If that's the way that people show their support and say, hey, I like what you're doing, but I just don't have time to watch, that's okay too. I understand that. But I recognize that every single person that subscribes is a person. I recognize that every single person that watches these videos, that's time that they could be doing something else. So if you're still here listening to me prattle on, my hat's off to you. I appreciate you very, very much. Look after you, look after your friends, look after your family. And of course, make sure that you're doing okay, because if you don't, who will? My name is FixFox, and I will see you in the next one. Take really good care.